Okay, this video is going to help you identify triangles, and it'll also help you draw triangles using Google Drive. Uh, we're going to start off with um, what is just a plain triangle. And a plain triangle is just a polygon with three sides. And so we learned last in the polygon video that polygons are closed figures. They're two-dimensional and they have sides that are straight. So a triangle goes one step farther and says that this polygon must have only three sides. And so that's what makes a triangle a polygon with three sides. Uh, Triangles always have two names. So they have a name for their angles, which you will see up here on top, and they also have a name for their side lengths, which you see down here on the bottom. And we'll go through each one of them. So first we're going to start with the acute triangle. An acute triangle is a triangle where all angles are acute. So acute triangles can also be classified as scalene, isosceles, or equilateral triangles. But to be an acute triangle, all angles must be acute angles. So I'm going to draw that now. And as you see in this triangle, if we look at all three angles, this angle is less than 90 degrees, this angle is less than 90, and this angle is less than 90 degrees. So this is an acute triangle. The next triangle we're going to go over is a right triangle. And a right triangle is a triangle that has one right angle. The other two angles, those are going to be acute. Otherwise it won't make a triangle, but it does have to have one right angle to be a right triangle. And we need to remember that a right angle is 90 degrees. And if you don't remember what that looks like, a 90-degree angle forms a square corner, which you see right here. That should look like the corner of a square. Right triangles can also be classified as isosceles or isosceles or scalene, but they cannot be equilateral triangles. The last angle triangle we're going to go over is an obtuse triangle. And obtuse triangles are triangles with one obtuse angle, and the other two angles must be acute angles. So I'm going to draw that. And what you would come up with is this triangle here shows an obtuse triangle. And it's obtuse because if you take a look at that angle looks to be greater than 90 degrees, but it is less than 180 degrees. So it is an obtuse triangle. Now we're going to move into these three triangles: equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. These talk about the side lengths as opposed to the angle size. An equilateral, hopefully you notice the sound equal in equilateral. An equilateral triangle is a triangle where all three sides are equal in length. So if we're going to draw that, this is a little difficult because we want to make sure all sides are equal. So we're going to have to kind of visually determine whether those are all about the same size. But in this case, they look to be about the same size, so I'm going to call that an equilateral triangle. Of course, we want it to be perfect if we can, but you can see that all three sides are the same length, and in this case, this triangle would also be classified as an acute triangle. So it would be an equilateral acute triangle because all three angles are acute, all three sides are the same size. As we move on to an isosceles triangle has two equal sides. The third side is a different size. Um, Isosceles triangles can also be classified as acute triangles, obtuse triangles, or right triangles. So they must have two sides that are the same size. So To do that, I will show you this. And in this case, once again, we would have an isosceles acute triangle because we have three right angles. But as you can see, this side and this side are the same size, but this side is not the same as these two up here. So that makes an isosceles triangle. And the last triangle, you can probably guess what this one means, but a scalene triangle is a triangle where all sides have different lengths. So this one's a little bit tougher to draw as well, but it's going to look something like this. So right now, as it is, these two sides you can see are the same length, but as I stretch this, this is now going to become longer than this angle, or this side here, and this side is also a different size here, so you can really see that there. Also, in this case, it's close to being a right triangle, but this is not a right angle, it's a little smaller. This is an acute angle, another an acute angle, and another acute angle, and so all three sides are different sizes. All three angles are acute, so this would be classified as a scalene acute triangle. So hopefully this video helps you understand the different names of a triangle. Triangles always must have two names, one based on angles, one based on side lengths. So use this video. Hopefully it helps you with your assignments. Also be sure to check out the presentation for triangles.